Hey Eagle Nation, welcome to Eagle Dining Services virtual cooking demonstration. I'm Michael Price, the Director of Culinary Operations, and joining me today is Executive Chef Clay Culpepper from Lakeside Dining Commons. Since we can't be with you in person, we've put together 2 demonstrations using items that you can purchase locally and produce at your own homes. The first dish that we're going to be preparing today is a sticky garlic mango shrimp, and then Chef Clay will come in and prepare his dish afterwards. With that, we're going to start with a hot pan and some oil. And what we've got here is 5 ingredients, folks. So we've got some garlic that we've slivered very thin. We're going to add that into our pot. And while we do that, we're going to tilt it just a little bit forward. Using a wooden spoon, we're just going to kind of move this around. Don't let it pop at you like that, because that can hurt. You feel that happen, just lift up a little bit, but this is just going to be a quick frying method for this garlic. Takes about 3 to 4 minutes to get to the crispiness that we're looking for. Again, just keep your pan tilted and at the front. Now you can see we're starting to get all crisp up and brown. One thing you want to remember is we pull this out of the oil, it's going to be hot, so it's going to continue to cook. So we're going to go ahead and pull this and let it drain on some paper towels. While that oil is still good and hot, we're going to just come in with some fresh turmeric. Gonna stir that in there nice. Get that mixed in with that oil really well. Get our pan back up to heat. Then we're going to add our shrimp. That sizzle is what you want to hear. Put some salt in there with that. And then we're just going to toss that with our turmeric. We'll go about 3 minutes on each side with these. Just kind of let them get a good sear on them, and that searing is what's going to keep the juice in them and keep them nice and keep that rubbery taste off there for you. Another little flip there. Then what we purchased is some fresh marmalade from the store. If you like, you can make your own mango chutney. You can make your own if you like. You're just going to add some of that to the pan. We're going to come right behind that with some fresh lime juice. As long as we're sizzling, we're still in good shape. Toss that a little bit. Now that chutney's going to kind of let go a little bit with that lime juice, but then you'll see it kind of come right back and tighten up for you. About 3 minutes out on this dish and it is ready to go. You could serve this with some nice, just plain white rice or brown rice, whatever you would like to put underneath it. It's be good with some spaghetti squash, just kind of stretched out and put on a plate if you want to stay in the no carb area. I had to throw that one in there for my nutritional coordinator, who you'll be meeting later. She'll like the plug. All right, now we're just going to add some fresh cilantro. Bring our plate here. And come right back with some of that garlic right on top. And there we go. Enjoy it at home, folks. Very easy dish to make. Up next is Chef Clay Culpepper of Lakeside Eagle Dining Commons.
Hey Eagle Nation, I am Clay Culpepper, Executive Chef of Lakeside Dining Commons. Today I am going to show you how to cook a blackened chicken salad with a blue cheese vinaigrette. This is pretty simple, and all the ingredients you should be able to find locally at any grocery store, and it's just a few simple ingredients. We have chicken breast, spring mix or salad greens, Dijon mustard, blue cheese, white vinegar, olive oil, cucumbers, grape tomatoes or cherry tomatoes will work, blackened seasoning, salt, pepper. So we're going to take 2 tablespoons of olive oil and heat it in a saute pan over high heat to start with. We're going to take our chicken breast, about a teaspoon of blackened seasoning on each one. And when you see this oil in this pan start smoking, that means it's really hot and it's ready to go. You get that nice sizzle. This is a 4 to 5 ounce chicken breast. It's going to go for about 3.5 to 4 minutes on each side. And you only need to season this top side with the blackening seasoning. Unless you really like spicy stuff, then you can hit both. But it gets a little spicy. So once you get that nice sear going, you can cut your heat down to a good medium-high heat. Medium-high. And while that is cooking, we're going to be mindful of our cooking time. We're going to start our vinaigrette. We're going to do about a tablespoon of white vinegar. Tablespoon of Dijon mustard. About 1/8 of a cup of crumbled blue cheese. And we're going to flip our chicken. And we're going to do about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And you already whip that really nicely. If you have a wire whisk, that works best. We're just going to use a fork here today. That works equally well because everybody has a fork, right? You want to get a lot of air under it to get a good, what they call emulsion. We're going to hit it with a little bit of pepper, a little bit of salt. And that's ready to go. Chicken, got another 1.5 minutes or so. We're going to start plating our salad greens. Looking for a nice firm texture when you press on that chicken. It should be ready to go. We're going to set it right back here and let it rest for a few minutes. That's going to complete the cooking process. Just going to take some cucumber slices. Kind of spread them evenly around the plate. And our grape tomato halves. Go ahead and hit it with a little bit of this vinaigrette. We're just going to slice our chicken into about 1/4-inch strips. We'll just lay it across the top of this bed of greens. A little bit of that vinaigrette on top of that chicken. And a little bit more blue cheese on top. And this will serve 2 people. Thank you very much. Enjoy.
Hello, Eagle Nation. Thank you for joining us today for Eagle Dining Services virtual nutrition presentation. I'm Brittany Parham, Nutritional Coordinator for Eagle Dining Services, and today we'll be talking about nutrition on our campus. So as many of you probably recognize the image down in the right-hand corner, this is the My Plate model, which was adapted in 2011 from the My Pyramid. So My Plate, half your plate should be your fruits and vegetables, and the other half should consist of your carbohydrates, your protein, usually more carbohydrates than your protein, and then smaller plates help you eat less with those visual cues. Both of these plates have the same exact amount of food on them. So how to make My Plate work for you? So you can choose 2 options, but we notice more and more people are eating 5 to 6 small meals a day instead of your standard 3 big meals. Well, with that, people ask, how do we use My Plate? So instead of setting so many dairy options throughout the day and so many fruits and vegetables, this is your kind of cheat sheet of how you would fit in those servings of fruits and vegetables and dairy throughout your day. So your breakfast, you have more of your food groups with the exception of your vegetables. Not a lot of people eat vegetables at breakfast, but then you're sprinkling in those vegetables later in your day. You can swap around snacks. If you know you're not gonna have a morning snack, but you wanna have something sweet after dinner, you can pop in, some frozen yogurt and fresh fruit for that snack after dinner. But make sure when you're eating throughout the day that you're not eating past 8 or 9 o'clock at night, because that's when our bodies start to slow down and finish up digesting our food that we've eaten throughout the day. So getting enough meals. Getting 3 meals a day is essential for your well-balanced diet. Breakfast can be individualized, but it needs to be your largest meal in the day. Then lunch should be balanced plate, focusing on your proper portion sizes and making sure that you're getting things that are going to keep you full throughout the rest of your day, and that prevents overindulging. And then dinner, you want that to be your smallest meal of the day. Don't typically go back for seconds if you do have dinner. And then snacks, eating those small snacks between meals actually helps speed up your metabolism because it keeps things going throughout the day, and you're not typically getting that sluggish feeling in the afternoons. So building the perfect salad and some benefits of fruit. So building the perfect salad, you want to have some dark green leafy vegetables. first is your base, and then you want to add some extra greenery. So avocado slices or cucumber, broccoli, sprouts, things like that. And then add your pop of color with your vegetables, like your carrots and your peppers. Those are going to give you a lot of beta carotene, which is really good for your eyes. Some fresh onion. Add some crunch with some fruit. Apple slices are good, or adding in fruits that have been kind of dehydrated and crispy, or even doing toasted nuts like walnuts or cashews, and then adding in some healthy extras. Now limit these, but you can add in dried fruits and then some fresh cheeses, and then power it up with some kind of protein. It doesn't have to be an animal protein like shrimp or fish or chicken. You can also do quinoa. And then don't forget to dress it up. So choose those vinaigrette dressings, those lighter dressings. If you want, a ranch or something like that, you can always do that, but serve it on the side and kind of dip your fork in it and then take a bite of your salad. And then more reasons to eat fruit. Grapes help relax your blood vessels. Apples help your body develop resistance to infections. The whole apple a day keeps the doctor away, that we all have heard throughout the years is very appropriate because it helps. Oranges help maintain great skin and vision. Strawberries fight against aging, things like that. So if you've ever gone to a restaurant and sat in a restaurant and you're near the kitchen and you see somebody come out with the sizzling plate of delicious food and you've already gotten your food and you're like, man, that looks really good, but you prefer what just walked by, be strategic about where you sit. I know a lot of times we're not able to pick, but right now, because we do have changed seating, we have our stations where you get your food in our facilities right here, but then all this blue area is where you have seating. So you can choose to sit kind of far away from those stations so you're not tempted to go back to those stations if somebody walks by with the food. And then at Lakeside Dining Commons, we even have a second floor where you can go and sit and you're away from the station, so you're away from that temptation of going back and overindulging. So we're going to talk a little bit about macronutrients, your carbohydrates, your protein, and your fat next. So carbohydrates should contribute to 45 to 65% of your daily caloric intake. So half your grains need to be whole grains when you do eat grains. So you want to look at your nutrient label. Whole grain needs to be in that ingredient list, or you can look for these two little stamps are going to be somewhere on the package. Carbohydrates are not bad. They often get a really bad rap. But fruits and vegetables are filled with carbohydrates, and they also have vitamins and minerals in them and fiber. And it's essential to balance your meal with some type of healthy carbohydrate. So the new fad is limiting carbohydrates because they can create weight gain. And we're talking about the refined carbohydrates. So your cookies and your crackers and your chips, things like that, that you need to look out for. If you can substitute them with whole grains, fruits, and vegetables. So if you don't want a whole grain pasta, you can go with a spaghetti squash as a healthy substitute to do low carb, but you're still getting the fiber and the vitamins and minerals with that vegetable. So your fats, 20 to 35% of your daily caloric intake should be from your fats. You have 2 essential fatty acids. They're your omega-3s and your omega-6s. Our 3 sources come from your fish oils, and then your omega-6 sources come from avocado and eggs. So high-fat foods can cause weight gain and high cholesterol, but these healthy fat foods are going to contribute to a lean physique as well as lowering those lipid levels. So your protein, it's going to consist of 10 to 35% of your daily calories. We recommend 0.8 grams of protein per 1 kilogram. So to give you an example of how to calculate this, we have a 160-pound male. You divide that by 2.2 to get his weight in kilograms, and then you multiply 72 by 0.8, and then you get 58 grams of protein per day. So that's his standard. But if he's vigorously active, so let's say he's a bodybuilder, he's going to go with a larger range, and that range is going to be 79 to 130 grams of protein per day. So different protein options. As I said before, protein doesn't always have to come from animal sources. We have lentils, there's quinoa, amaranth, buckwheat. There's a bunch of different ways that you can get protein in throughout your day. Even cheese has protein in it. So start off with 1 plate. I can't stress this enough, but we tend to see people get 2 or 3 plates full of food and then sit down and they don't finish it all. And so that leads to a lot of food waste, which is not good. But then you also have the opposite end of that where they'll sit and eat and eat and eat and they'll overindulge. So sit down with 1 plate, enjoy that food, take your time while you're eating it, and really taste the food. So portion sizes, we need to focus on portion sizes. So a standard computer mouse is a good reference for a lot of things. We have it up here with your fruit, we have it with your vegetables, we got it with some protein, and then you've also got it with your grains. But we don't always have that as a reference near us, so our hands can be used as a good reference. A fist would be 1 cup. The palm of your hand is going to be your 3 ounces for your meat serving. A handful of nuts or dried fruit is 1 ounce. 2 handfuls is going to be your popcorn, your chips, your pretzels, things like that. So we have a lot of things that we're served. And then this is what we should be served. So, you know, if you go to a burger place and you have friends with you and you get a burger, a cheeseburger and fries, split that burger with your friend and y'all are actually eating the proper portion size instead of overeating that burger. And the same thing goes for cookies. I have another example down here. This would be a homemade cookie, and then this would be a cookie that you would get from a deli that's gonna give you that huge cookie that's actually 2 to 3 servings, depending on where you're getting it from. Now here's an example of a burrito that we get at a restaurant, and while you know you can cut down on the amount of the burrito that you get, you can actually increase your amount of salsa that you're getting, because you're getting, again, those healthy carbohydrates from the fruit or vegetables in the salsa with your chips. So staying hydrated. Hydration is important for every system in our body. 8 cups of water a day is the standard minimum, and I know that seems like a lot, but it's kind of easier than you think. So these are all your different ways to get to make sure that you're getting the proper amount of water throughout your day. So again, like I said, you don't have to drink all your water. Your body actually gets a lot of it from the foods that we eat. So there's very high water foods like your soups and your broths and your stews, your raw fruits and vegetable and your raw fruit juices. Then we also have our medium water foods like your pork and your beef. The breaded fish and your breaded chickens and things like that aren't going to have as much water content in them as if they weren't breaded, if they were just baked. And then your very low water foods are going to be those cakes, jams, jellies, the sweet rolls, pastries, things that don't have a lot of water in them to begin with. So make water great again. So a lot of people say water is just bland and it doesn't have a lot of flavor, and I understand that. So try infused water. Put fruits or vegetables or even fresh herbs in your water and leave it overnight and then drink it the next day. You could bring fresh fruit with you to work and swap out your fruit throughout the day to give yourself a change in that. Keep a water bottle handy. Set alarms or reminders on your phone. We have our phones with us all the time, and there's apps for that to make sure that you're drinking your water throughout the day. If you have to have that fizz, the carbonation to go with your water, I definitely suggest there's a bunch of different companies out there that create these sparkling waters that are flavored, that are great to substitute out and change out what you're drinking throughout the day. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation. Thank you for joining us today. Go Eagles!